studio a young lady who goes by the name of Marsha Reynolds. She's a Jamaican author and motivational speaker. Now, her mission is to inspire people to live, laugh, and love. She wrote and published a book of poetry titled When Tides Collide. It has 22 poems which speaks of love, laughter, hurt, faith, and God. She started Real Talk, where she talks about issues with truth as it is in its ugliest or its most beautiful form. Marsha, welcome to Suncity Family Business and welcome to Suncity Radio.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure, and of course, on behalf of my Sonites, we want to welcome you. Now, Marsha, you communicate through poetry.
I do. I love writing. I started about 14 or so years ago when my grandmother was actually killed, and it was, I guess, through that, the hurt and the pain, I actually started to put, my feelings on paper, and it gave birth to my poetry book some years later.
All right, tell us, you said you've started, 14 years ago?
It's a bit more than that, because 2014, now she died 97, so it's about 17 years now. I did the book.
Okay, at what age was that though? Because you're fairly young.
I still am. I was actually still in high school. I was just in third form in high school. So.
Oh, which high school is that?
I went to St. Andrew High.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
Oh Lord, Jamaica College Sister School.
Yes,
oh,
of course,
my
a good
God.
school. Life more abundant.
Okay, all right. So what do you do now as a profession?
Well, now I'm actually working in marketing and sales. So that is right now, that's my profession right now. However, I actually did study psychology, and I have a love for writing. So even though on paper this is what I do, my love comes through so I write, I speak, I like to motivate and inspire persons.
Okay. Are you self-employed or you work with a company?
No, I actually work with a company.
Okay.
But I will be self-employed, I guess, soon, hopefully.
Okay. And you'll be thinking of going straight into sales or marketing. What areas do you wish to go into?
No, I actually want to continue with my writing. I want to actually put out my Real Talk book by the end of this year, another poetry book by next year, and to actually keep moving into more motivational speaking, into counseling.
Well, Marsha, that sounds like money. You win the lotto. You win the lotto, my girl.
No, I actually don't have it, but sometimes when you want something so bad, you just have to close your eyes and say, I don't know where it's gonna come from, but this is the dream, and I'm gonna make sure that it's a reality.
Yes, you live your dream, my girl. Okay, all right, now, what are some of the issues that you talk real about, and how do people respond?
Alright, well, Real Talk started on my Facebook page actually. So it started as a status update where I used to see some things at the time I probably wasn't working. I used to see things and I said, boy, why is it that, you call my phone, you say, I don't have any money, I'm broke, where are you? I'm at the hairdresser washing my hair. No, be real about it. Or you say you want a Christian young man, but every day you're at a club, how are you going to find a Christian? If you're always at the club, so it was things I used to just post on Facebook to say, real talk,
Yes.
And it's not about bashing you or tearing you down. It's for you to actually look into yourself to see if this is what I want or this is where I want to go, then do something about it. Quit complaining.
Yes, I like that. But, it's like you want to get married, but you're there with somebody, man.
Exactly.
So that's not going to get you nowhere.
You're with a married man, but you want to be married.
Okay.
So those are some of the things that we touch on. And I touch on other things too. I mean, about faith, about God.
Yes.
There was something that happened to me one day. I was driving down the road and I was just crying in the car. I was saying, God, I needed to help me with this. I don't know how I'm going to come through this problem, and I'm going to leave it at your feet. And I was still crying, and I stopped and I said, here I am asking God to take care of my problems, and I'm still crying. And I said, why am I asking God to keep my head above water and then drown myself with my tears? So I read those things, and a lot of persons started to follow. Till a friend of mine actually did a website for me, because he said, you're so faithful, you keep doing your Real Talk. And a lot of my friends on Facebook, I have to give them friends and family. Let me tell you something, they're the backbone. They are my backbone. They have supported me through so much. I mean, the only person, I'm so sorry star that couldn't hear this interview this morning is my father. He passed last year, and he was my greatest supporter. If I'm on the radio, even for work, he would be the one that has to tune in, telling everybody Marsha's going to be on the radio. And then when I did my book, he said, I'm buying your first copy. I said, no, but Daddy, I can't sell it to you. I have to give it to you. He said, no, I'm buying your first copy and you're signing it for me. So I'm glad that he actually got to see the book. He actually got to see that dream. And now that I'm here, I know that he must be smiling.
All right. Now we've gotten an idea what kind of messages that the book tells about. That's really how are they relevant to today's society?
Well, the book I actually did is my poetry book. So it's both. I do motivational writing and then I do poetry. So When Tides Collide is actually my poetry book that will be in Kingston Bookshop by this week, and it's going to be at a very low price of $450. But the poems, like I said, I started, my very first poem was because of my grandmother that I wrote it. So I write different things. I wrote a poem called Diamond in the Rough that said, not proud of all I've done, but I'm proud of who I've become. Not always grateful for everything in life, but truly grateful to be alive. I don't count all my blessings, yet I know that I'm always blessed. And this is one of the poems. I can't read everything, but it's one of the poems that's actually in the book. So persons can go out, they can look for it in Kingston Bookshops this week. It should be in by the end of this week. It will be in Pavilion, it will be at the Springs, it will be in Ligony, and it will be by the Boulevard. And I'm hoping that once it picks up and everybody goes out and buy it, I'll have it in a lot more locations across the island.
All right, wonderful. You know, I'm glad I've gotten this opportunity to speak to a young lady. Yesterday, there's an issue that came in the paper that speaks about that 85% of our children are born out of wedlock. Which is telling us that the males don't want to marry the females.
Or sometimes right now the females don't want to marry the males. It's actually a very sad thing I was reading last night where it said, a lot of females nowadays don't actually even want to be married anymore because I guess they've been so hurt by men and they've been so used, and it's such a vicious cycle because so many good men have been hurt and used, and then they turn around and hurt and use those women, and then those women turn around and say, listen, men are always doing this to me, so I might as well just use them. I don't want to be married. I'll get what I can out of it.
I hear you, but I find a problem believing it because I don't know which woman I want to get married.
Really? No, man, there's a lot.
No, I find that very hard to believe. They'll say that. They'll say that to hide what they feel.
Of course, but real talk.
But
you have some women that will say it.
If somebody comes and propose to them, they're not going to say yes. I refuse to believe that any woman, I'm going to say, she don't want to get married. I lie from the pit of hell. They want to get married, but they don't have that confidence to say that their boyfriend or whoever, that their partner is willing to propose to them. Of course, every woman, that's their dream. They want to get married.
A lot of them still do, but let's face it, you do have some, and especially now, remember that the century is changing. You have a lot more women that are a lot more independent now than before. So a lot of them are saying, well, I don't want a man to come and run me or rule me. I want to do my own thing, and that's very honest. I mean, a lot of women nowadays, it's not just in Jamaica, just across the world.
But the thing about the women that
they might still want to be married, but most of them are not going to admit that. The thing
about the independence woman that you're talking about, when the lights are out, the independence can't help them.
But listen, what is the same thing with the men?
Can't help them. Them flat, their apartment can't help them. So that thing about, I'm independent, I don't need a man, rubbish. I don't believe that for a moment. But every woman know they want a man. They want a man, right? They want a man to call their own. They want to walk down the aisle with all their friends saying, doesn't she look beautiful? What a beautiful bride. Them all want that.
Yes, but you see, with some are like that too. Some of them only want the wedding and not the marriage. And that's a very big difference. A lot of women only want the wedding. They want the dress and they want the ring, but they don't want the work that comes along with it to actually put into a marriage.
You have a point, and that is where society has to come and see how we can best change that.
That's right, and that's one of the things that I talk about. When a man is fed up, when a woman is fed up, because I try not to look at it just from a woman's perspective. So one of my articles that I did, and when I put my Real Talk book out, end of this year, it will be in it. When a man is fed up, when a woman is fed up.
All right. So you sound religious. I get the feeling that you believe in God.
Yeah, I do.
But that is one of his mandate. For the man, it says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So God, Jesus is all about marriage. So as a Christian, how you address that? Because you're here saying that, the men them are hurt, the female them are hurt. Nobody wants to get married.
Don't get me wrong. I fully support and believe in the institution of marriage.
Okay.
However, I'm still also real and honest enough to know that a lot of persons out there have been hurt and may not want to because of that hurt. It doesn't mean that, and which is why I write, which is why I try to inspire persons that say, despite the pain and the hurt that we go through in life, we can still get up and keep moving. I've been hurt, I've gone through pain, I've gone through stress and problems, but it doesn't mean that you give up.
But the hurt comes through choices. Many of us,
a lot of the times, we put ourselves in.
We make a whole heap of bad moves.
But sometimes those bad moves actually end up helping in the long run. You know that.
So it's a
lot of the mistakes that we make in life, we learn from them. If you're not learning from your mistakes, you're not making the right ones.
And the good thing about the mistake is that further on down the road, you say, what a good thing me left the man there.
Can I tell you?
What a good thing me left the woman there.
Right.
Hallelujah. Start it.
Or sometimes what happens here with somebody and they treat you so bad that when you get a good one, you say, boy, if I wasn't with him, I wouldn't know how to appreciate this one.
So that is why we
don't
have
not the mistakes,
we have
not
to
the problems.
move on.
We have to keep
As
moving.
I've said on this program, that is getting into trouble. It's not a problem, because the Bible tells us man born of a woman full of trouble.
It's
how you deal. How you deal with the trouble when it comes. Do you wallow in it, or you get up and dust yourself off and say, okay, I'm moving on?
And that is what Real Talk is about. So at the end, like I said, and I want to come back, I'm gonna put it out there that when my book is out, when however God works it out, and my Real Talk book is out by the end of the year, we can come back and we can actually sit down and discuss some of these issues, because it is there, and sometimes persons want to be inspired or they want to be motivated, and there's so much negativity in the world, and that's why I keep writing, I keep going out there, I keep trying to do more, going into schools right now to motivate even our kids, because sometimes we don't understand. It starts from when they're so young. We think.
I'm gonna take a time signal.
No problem.
Son las 9:45 de la mañana.
The time by Auto Chris is 9:45 a.m.
All right.
Yes, I was saying so many times, we think that we want to change persons as adults, and we treat our children anyway. We talk to them anyway. We tear them down from they're so young. We tell them that them ugly, them not going to come to nothing. And then when they grow up with that low self-esteem, when they're up and about and they're bleaching their face and they're doing all these things, and we want to curb them when they're older, and we didn't instill that love and respect in them when they were younger.
Yes, and you know what, I'm wrapping up now, but what I want to say to you, Marsha, I'm looking at an empress, dark and lovely, and the hair, I love the hair. Oh my God.
So much.
I mean, it tells me so much about you, that you believe in yourself and you accept the fact that you're black. You accept the fact that you're a black woman. So no bleaching for you. No false hair for you. Look how the girl beautiful, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And then flashing her locks. I see these people with them false hair. I brush back the hair like I feed them. Flash your locks, my girl. Look at it long. Oh my. Our dog is. Thank you, flashes. You can flashes too. I grow my own.
It's coming. We'll flash it together. Here from now we can flash it together.
So Marsha, thank you so much.
And I want to know persons if they want to reach me, whether it is for motivational speaking. Like I said, I do work now, but if you want me to come in, whether it's for school or you just want to be inspired, you can reach me at 778-7082. Email me at realtalkreflections@yahoo.com. Give me a call if you need to. Email me if you need to. Go on Facebook. Look for Real Talk Reflections. The Real Talk page is there. When Tides Collide, it's there on Facebook as well, and on Twitter. Follow me, please, and support when the books come out in Kingston Bookshop by the end of this week. Only $450. I make sure I keep it low because we know things rough.
Yes.
So please, thank you so much.
Wow, you see that? Bread and butter business, this, her book. She's doing something to bring in some extra money.
That's right.
Well done, my sister. I'm so proud of you. And may the Lord bless you with the right partner. So make sure you investigate before you invest.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Most definitely.
Okay. And now it's time for Sergeant Parks. Yeah. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you very
much for having me.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. If I can get this. Okay. All right, darling. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. I'm trying to get it to work. All right. Here we go.
This is Sergeant Parks on the Portmore